Hey gang, it's JC, and this is the Daily Dose for Wednesday, January 25th, 2012. Combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. Great television archives, top of the page. You want to see the demolition of the old arena? We have it there for you. Also, great interviews. We got an Albert Brooks interview from a couple of years back. Going to talk about Albert here in just a couple of seconds. And of course, down below we have JC's Eye Candy. We'll get to that in a minute. And over in the corner, JC's Rock and Roll poll question yesterday. The big game coming up on Sunday, well, a week from Sunday. What's your opinion of the Super Bowl? Now, my answer I put in here, I think that people thought I was joking when I put it in there, but I'll tell you what mine is here in a minute. Number one answer, 32%. It's a terrific day for food, friends, football, and fun. Number two answer, 27%. I watched some of it, mostly for the commercials. Number three answer at 23%. I watch most or all of it, but I don't go out of my mind the way some people do. 10% I'm just not that interested. And my answer at only 8% is it's a ridiculous, grotesque display of overindulgence, gluttony, and hype. Yeah, and I really mean that. The game itself, unless the Rams are in it or some team that I'm really sort of emotionally connected to, you just sort of watch it because you sort of have to. You're in broadcasting, and the next day everybody's going to be talking about the game and talking about the commercials and talking about some goofy thing that happened, and you better have seen it to be able to talk about it. So I watch it out of requirement. I'm not sure I would watch the Super Bowl otherwise. Now, it's largely the stuff that goes on in terms of the hype and the lead up, and especially like the last 45 minutes prior to the game is just, they're trying to turn a football game into some sort of Cirque du Soleil or something out of Vegas, and the whole thing just, sometimes it makes me laugh and other times it makes me really go yuck. So I don't know, play the football game. I like that. I'm old school. Ain't apologizing. All right, describe your relationship with marijuana. Oh, whoa! No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Yeah, we sprung that on you. There's no special reason. I just want to know. Yeah, every once in a while you'll see these stories in the 5 o'clock news. And some state trooper or something out near Eureka or Pacific or something like that. It's the marijuana highway out there, up and down 44. I don't know where people are going, but apparently that's where you go if you're transporting pot. And every once in a while, they'll see some sort of car driving erratically, or they get a tip or something like that. And they bring in the dogs, and the next thing you know, they're holding a news conference, and there it is, blocks and blocks of just bricks and bricks and bricks of this stuff with all the state troopers standing there. And I just think to myself, I know you're enforcing the law, but the whole thing just seems absolutely ridiculous to me. It's pot, for God's sakes. Got our entire criminal court system and our jails clogged up with guys who are trying to do pot, and in other parts of the country it's legal or near legal, or they're making it so that anybody who really wants it can have it, and those other guys 1,000 miles away sitting in jail. The whole thing seems ridiculous to me. But let's see what you think. What's your relationship with pot? A, I'm a regular user, and I think it should be legal. B, I use it once in a blue moon. C, I used to be a regular, but I quit. D, I don't use it, and I think it should remain illegal. Or E, I'm a dealer. Let's try it out. Answer in the corner. Let's see what we get tomorrow. All right, State of the Union address last night. I don't know if you bothered. I don't know if anybody bothered. Seemed more like a campaign speech to me. By the same token, the Republicans who were doing a pre-butthole yesterday, that's the new word, the pre-butthole. They're complaining about the speech before they've even read it, seen it, heard about it, or whatever. They're just assuming what it's going to be. Well, they got lucky, most of them, because that's exactly what it was. It turned out to be basically a campaign speech. But any third-year sitting president who's going to run for re-election is going to do that, and they all have done that in their third-year State of the Union address. These guys who complain on the right crack me up because they make it seem like Obama is sinister, and he's the first guy that ever thought of using the State of the Union address in his third year as sort of a campaign platform. It just cracks me up. Did you know that not everybody was at the speech last night, and it had nothing to do with somebody sitting out because they had some sort of moral obligation or something like that? No. There's always one member of the cabinet who is deemed the designated survivor, and also a few members of Congress sit out for the same reason too, just in case something would happen, like a cruise missile just sort of takes out the Capitol Rotunda or whatever it is. I forget where they even have stadium. I'm pretty sure it's in the Capitol building, and just bombs the place and everybody dies, there would be some elected representatives of state and federal government. This cough didn't start till 5 seconds into this thing today. Never seems to. Never mind. Anyhow, but seriously, so they sit people out just in case there would be some sort of gas leak or explosion or deliberate attack or something like that. Did you also know that when you see the president flying off in either Air Force One or that helicopter that takes him out to go take off, that the president and vice president are never on the same helicopter or plane for the exact same reasons, just in case the thing goes down for whatever reason. All right, so we got a lot to talk about yesterday's Oscar nominations. Brad Pitt, George Clooney, both nominated for Best Actor. These guys, by the way, are going to milk this. They're going to have a blast with this. You can just see this coming already. Brad Pitt and George Clooney. I mean, I'll leave it up to you to guess who's celebrated by fornicating with a supermodel and who's celebrated by weeping silently into a baby wipe. Nick Nolte got nominated Best Supporting Actor for Warriors. It's his third nomination. This, however, is the first one he'll actually remember. Starbucks is going to start testing beer and wine sales in Atlanta and Southern California. So now you can get drunk to forget about the fact you just spent $10 on a cup of coffee. Albert Brooks was one of the guys I realized until it took me a couple hours. Like, wait a minute. Everybody thought Albert Brooks was going to get a nomination for Drive, where he plays a killer. And he's a comedic actor and writer and stand-up and just, filmmaker and all that sort of stuff. But he conjured up this character and put it in the movie Drive, which almost nobody saw. But the critics who saw it were like, oh my God, this is fantastic. And, he had gotten a Golden Globe nomination, and I think everybody sort of expected Albert Brooks would get a nomination for Drive. And no deal there. And also, the other guy that seemed to get it in the poop chute was Patton Oswalt for Young Adult, the Charlize Theron movie. Patton Oswalt with a great performance 2 years ago, I guess it was, in Big Fan. And if you've not seen Big Fan, boy, go see that movie. Go rent that. Get on your Netflix thing, because that's great. It's about these two guys, these sort of two losers from the New York area who are big fans of the New York Giants, and they decide I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just go see it, because it's very good. Critically acclaimed. Everybody who sees it is like, wow, that's a good movie. Big fan. Patton Oswalt got nominated a couple of years ago. Was it last year? Maybe it was a year or two ago. I forget. Billy Crystal hosting the Oscars February 26th. About this Demi Moore thing, She's married to Ashton Kutcher. She catches him cheating. They get a divorce, and the next thing she drops 50 pounds and looks like a stick. She looks like a Holocaust survivor. She looks terrible. This is Demi Moore, one of the most beautiful women in the world, even at her age, which is now, I guess, pushing 50. And then she gives this, they ran this quote this morning from Harper's Bazaar. Listen to what she said. I would say that what scares me is that I'm going to find out at the end of my life that I'm really not lovable, that I'm not worthy of being loved, and that there's something fundamentally wrong with me. The words of Demi Moore. Yeah, I suppose there might be a problem there with an attitude like that. I only did anybody remind her that that she's getting all bent out of shape about Ashton Kutcher? Ashton Kutcher? Come on! I mean, I can remember back in my 20s, being hooked on a couple of girls, one that damn near wrecked my life for the better part of 3 years. I look back at it now and I just can't believe. There wasn't anything that special about her. So, I don't know, love is blind. I don't know what to tell you. In the meantime, Tim Gunn from Project Runway says he hasn't had sex in 29 years. Tim is openly gay. Not that he wouldn't have choices or opportunities. He's 58 now. It means he's been celibate since he was 29. That ought to be illegal. The mayor of Los Angeles started making noises about this, I don't know, it was a couple of weeks ago, saying that, because like 90% of the porn industry is centered in Southern California. 90% of all the porn you see is made in Southern California, in the Los Angeles area. So the mayor says, I want everybody wearing condoms. You go ahead, we're not going to shut you guys down, but if you're going to do this, you got to wear condoms. And they're like, oh, wait a minute, we don't want to do that. And so yesterday, he signed legislation, an ordinance that requires porn stars, well, the guys, to wear condoms. And now there's a lot of people who think that, the porn industry, some of these people might pack up their ball gags and head somewhere else. Keep your eye on that story. That could be a big deal there. How about Prince Fielder? Nobody saw that one coming. If you did, tell me about it, because 9 years, $214 million. Prince Fielder is going to play with the Detroit Tigers. Not the best hitter's park, by the way. Good for the Cardinals now. He's gone from our league and playing in the American League. His father hit 245 home runs in Detroit between 1990 and 1996. Prince Fielder, 299 hitter last year. I enjoyed the television reporter on Channel 5 day before yesterday who was doing a story about the conversion of Highway 70 perhaps into a tollway. And during his live shot to introduce his piece, they had the camera zoom in on his hand where he had a nickel and a dime, and he held it up to the camera for like 10 seconds to sort of prove his point. Yes, because without that graphic, the concept would have been completely over our heads that a nickel and a dime equals 15 cents, and that's what it might cost you per mile to drive on Highway 70. Thank you very much for explaining it to us, because we're all a bunch of dopes. And MSNBC would probably get a lot more credibility as a political entity if they did not employ a political analyst by the name of Crystal Ball. Do I have to explain everything to you guys? All right, what do we got here? JC's eye candy today. Yeah, this is great. As you know, I'm a big fan of Bill Maher, Real Time on HBO, and they put a 15-minute behind-the-scenes look at the making of their television show up on the web. You'll see St. Louis and Matt Gunn, one of the writers, and Bill Maher behind the scenes. This is excellent. If you don't even have to like Bill Maher. If you just want to see how a weekly live television show is put together, this is fascinating stuff. I love this. So it's on JC's Eye Candy, right below what you're looking at right now. All right, don't forget now our rock and roll poll question for today, which I apparently have lost. I have it right here. Yes, I do. I promise I do. Yeah, describe your relationship with pot. We've given you 5 choices right there in the corner. Let us know, and we will let you know tomorrow right here. That's it. JC's Daily Dose for Wednesday, January 25th, 2012, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Clayton. Trish Gazelle and JC every day from noon until 3 on the Big 550 KTRS. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.